Welcome to PDAC 2023. My name is Julian DeRosier for the IIF. I am joined here now with Rob. Hi, Rob. How are you doing?
Oh, very fine, Julian. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, that's great. Well, listen, it's a great PDAC. Everyone's there. It's big. Commodities are booming. So, for everyone that's watching right now, could you please introduce yourself and the company you're working for?
Yes. I'm Rob Macdonald. I'm the Vice President of Exploration for Equity Metals Corporation. We're a company that trades on the TSX Venture Exchange. We operate in Canada and based out of Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay, great. So equity metals means that there's more than one metal. Maybe you can walk us through the deposits you have. What's the main deposit you have, and maybe also other project you're working on?
Well, yes, of course. With equity metals, we are giving our shareholders and our investors exposure to both precious metals as well as some base metals, silica sand, which has some EV properties, battery properties, as well as diamonds, and as well as royalty interests. So there's 4 projects. The flagship is our Silver Queen high-grade gold-silver vein system located in central British Columbia. We have the Silica Sand project in Saskatchewan with road access to it, and we've identified that you can get high-grade silica out of that project that has the or can be used for making anodes in batteries and whatnot. So EV properties as well. And then we do have a royalty on a property in southern British Columbia as well.
Well, that gives exposure to a lot of commodities, to a lot of different sectors of use of those commodities. So which one, you said your flagship project was is Kena Arc that we see. So basically you're concentrated US and Canada as of jurisdiction. And can you tell us a little more about the development stage of your flagship asset, and do you have a resource and so on it?
Okay, yes, of course. Yes, the flagship is our Silver Queen project. It's located in central British Columbia. It's located just 35 kilometers off of the main highway that runs through northern British Columbia. We have easy road access to the project, where we sit east of the main Coast Range of mountains, so we have a much more agreeable climate than when you're up in the Golden Triangle, for example, or the mountains. The project is a high-grade vein system. There have been 20 different veins identified on the property. It was first explored back in 1912, so there's over 100 years of exploration and development work that has been done on the project, and we're simply standing on the shoulders of the people that came before. We recently updated the mineral resource on the project. We've more than doubled it. So we now have in indicated and inferred categories 85 million silver equivalent ounces. 65% of that value is in gold and silver, 35% is in base metals, primarily zinc, and 75% of the resource is in the indicated category. 25% is as an inferred resource. So we're very, very bullish on this project. We recently financed, so we have now over $3 million in the treasury. We're starting to drill the project in early April, and we'll be looking at doing an initial 2,000 to 3,000 meter drill program on the Silver Queen property in the April-May timeframe, and then again another 2,000 to 3,000 meters in the June time frame as well. So we have a number of catalysts to look forward to for the investor, including the drill turning, some additional surface work, and then of course assay results. We've had previously absolutely spectacular assays from this project, upwards of 56,000 grams silver from a 30 centimeter interval. That carried, of course, a much thicker interval of mineralization, but that's mineralization that just doesn't grow on trees. It's actually has us very, very excited to keep the project moving forward, and that's what we're doing in the coming months.
Well, it sure sounds exciting for that flagship property, but you also discussed about the Silica Sand project. You touched a bit on it. Can you tell us a little more? How is it used in the EV industry, and what is what makes a deposit in silica sand good or bad?
Yeah, well, silica sand, I mean, there's a number of different uses for silica sand, but when you can get a high purity silica, and that's, I think it's 96 to 98% purity, then it has applications for making battery anodes, and that's combined with the other metals. I believe it helps act as a little bit of a resistor so that the electricity doesn't bleed out. Yep. and makes the battery much more efficient. This is newer technology, like most things in EV right
Yep.
now, and it is developing, and it is something that we look forward to developing in the coming months and years as we move the project and the company along.
Well, that's great. Well, you told us that you did a finance of $3 million. So basically, what does your share structure looks like now after that financing?
After the financing, gosh, I have to remember. Like I'm the geologist. I'm not. I'm not in the investor relations. But right now we've got about a $20 million market cap. We're trading at about 15 to 16 cents. Okay. And I think it's just over 100 million issued and outstanding in terms of the shares.
Perfect. That's a bit what we were looking for as a number. And then, well, for everyone who found that story very interesting, having an exposure to very different commodities and so on, and want to follow your story, want to know more about it, get on your newsletter. On which website can they do that?
It is www.equitymetals.com, and the ticker symbol is EQTY on the TSX Venture Exchange is the primary exchange on which we trade.
Perfect. Well, everyone, you just heard it. Go on the website, get on the newsletter, follow their story. Very interesting commodities. Get to learn more about silica sand. And obviously, Robert, thank you very much for your time. Very interesting project, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.